All right, how you guys doing today? We about to get into Acts chapter 27. First things first. First things first, though, make sure you like that video, hit a little exit full screen, scroll a bit, like it, and then full screen it back up. You feel me? One of my friends who I haven't talked to in months because she just hadn't texted me, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm back. Health problems, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really care if you disappear, but like, let me know if you're going through like health problems so I could pray for you." You know? I said, "Can you do that?" Because if it was a no, then I was like, but you know, she said yeah, so good. Prayed for her yesterday. I prayed for a lot of people yesterday. And then I was walking to go get lunch with my friend today, and on the way there was this guy with these petitions, and I took off my headphones. I said, "Yo, what's up? What do you got?" He said for independent people to get on the ballot or something. I signed it because chances are the independent people are less corrupt, I think. So I don't really know what I was doing signing the petition, other than to get the independent people on the ballot. And I think they should be on the ballot. You know, let the people vote for who the people want to vote for. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what it is. Got lunch. Feel hefty right now. I feel very hefty. I ate too much food yesterday. I had the peanut butter banana protein shake from Jumbo from this spot on campus. I got rice and beans with chicken, half a side of yuca fries, a tres leches piece of cake, and then for dinner I had 2 grilled cheeses and seasoned fries because I was feeding for that. Yesterday I ate a lot. Right now I'm on pace to eat a lot, but I'm gonna get a salad for dinner. Don't you worry. And I can't wait to tell you guys about my paper for my ethics class. Oh my gosh, it's getting a whole video on its own because I basically done wrote a whole sermon. Basically, it was for this paper. He said I could do a biblical point of view. I said word. He said word. So I said, oh, I'm about to cook. Not cooked. But then he not giving me the word count that I needed. I need a word count. He said I gotta read 65 of these papers. The word count is there for a reason. He gave me a little extra room, which is good, but the little extra room he gave me is where I'm at now, and the paper's not done. The paper's almost done. He said I could cut some of the points out, make a draft in that, and then submit that one. But then also the full paper he will read when he gets some time, because I told him I was so excited. I wanted to hear his take on my paper and everything, so it got him a little excited. But he still said I can't allow that, you know. So, but he gave me some wiggle room. I think it's supposed to be max 1250. He gave me 1750, and it's at like 1760 right now. So we gonna see. Like Dre said, we gonna see. I have my email tab open. Look at this, bro. This is not okay. This is what's going on in my college. My college is a public institution. Look at what's happening here. They're hosting queer speed. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right here. Queer speed dating at my freaking school, bro. At my freaking school, bro. That's crazy. Wild. Just wild. This is why the world needs Jesus. I don't know if I was halfway through a story before I checked my email, but this ruined my mind. My paper, yeah, but my paper, oh my gosh, I'm so hyped to talk about it. And then that's for my ethics class. So I'm doing biblical ethics because we had to read an article by David Shoemaker for class, and he brought up the fact of God. And I said, well, if he's arguing for God, I should be allowed. And he said, sure, go right ahead. So I'm quoting the Bible, all that stuff. Basically, a sermon is nice. And then my other paper for my English class is going to be about how, you know, creation isn't disproved by science and actually agrees with everything. And science doesn't disprove creation. So stay tuned, stay tuned. This is what happens. In my presentation yesterday, we didn't have to present because a few people volunteered to go. And then he just started going down the list of alphabetical names, and me and my bro, last names both start with R. So I was thinking, there's only like 12 kids in this class. Are we gonna have to go, or are we gonna be safe? And the clock kept ticking down and down and down. Class was over, and I said, yeah, I think there's 2 people, 1 or 2 people that have to go in front of us until we go, which is nice. So tonight we're gonna work on it, and hopefully it's goodbye now tomorrow, Friday. All right, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Peace. And when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus's band. And entering into the ship of the Adramyttium, we launched. meaning to sail by the coast of Asia. One, Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us, and the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius courteously entreated Paul and gave him liberty to go unto his friends to refresh himself. And when we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, the city of Lycia, and there the centurion found the ship of Alexandria sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce were come over against Cnidus, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete over against Salmone, and hardly passing it came unto a place which is called the Fair Havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lasea. Now, when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the landing and ship, but also of our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul. And because the haven was not commodious to winter in, the more part advised to depart thence also, if by any means they might attain to Phenice, and there to winter, which is in haven of Crete, and lieth toward the south, west, and northwest. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, loosing thence, they sailed close by Crete. But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind, called Euroclydon. And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island which is called Clauda, we had much work to come by the boat, which, when they had taken up, they used helps, undergirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, strake sail, and so were driven. And we, being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, the next day they lightened the ship, and the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest laid on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them, and said, Sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me, and have not loosed from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship. For there stood by me this night the angel of God, whose I am, and whom I serve, saying, Fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar, and lo, God hath given thee all them that sail with thee. Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God, that it shall be even as it was told unto me. Howbeit we must be cast upon a certain island. But when the 14th night was come, as we were driven up and down in Adria, about midnight the shipmen deemed that they drew near to some country, and sounded, and found it 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they sounded again, and found it 15 fathoms. Then, fearing lest we should have fallen upon rocks, they cast 4 anchors out of the stern, and wished for the day. And as the shipmen were about to flee out of the ship, when they had let down the boat into the sea, under color, as though they would have cast anchors out of the foreship, Paul said to the centurion and to the soldiers, Except these abide in the ship, ye cannot be saved. Then the soldiers cut off the ropes of the boat and let her fall off. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them all to take meat, saying, This is the 14th day that ye have tarried, and continued fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health, for there shall not be an hair fall from the head of any of you. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to God in presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in the ship 216 souls. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast out the wheat into the sea. And when it was day, they knew not the land, but they discovered a certain creek with the shore, into which they were minded, if it were possible, to thrust in the ship. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoised up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward shore. And falling into a place where 2 seas met, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart struck fast and remained unmovable, but the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. And the soldiers' counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into sea and get to land, and the rest some on boards, and some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they all escaped safe to land. It's a long chapter. At the beginning was cooking me with all these names, bro. Look at all these. Oh, nah, first they hit me with the Adramyttium, then Aristarchus, Cilicia, Pamphylia, Myra, Lycia, Alexandria, Cnidus, whatever, Salmone. There was definitely more. Phenice, or whatever that is. Venus, I don't freaking know. Try to get me. I'm definitely watching the sermon. I don't even know what it was talking about for real, for real. They just started saying, oh yeah, we was whipping this shit. We going left, right, left, Crete, Felicia, whatever. I'm like, huh? All I know is that Paul said, hey, don't get off the island. Them winds is gonna cook us. And then he was right. He was right. But then they saved him or something. They threw the anchors out when they got close, but not super close, right? I don't really know what's happening. Definitely watching a sermon on this, cause man,